The following audio may contain the personal testimonials of some OPTAVIA coaches or clients of OPTAVIA. The results relayed in these messages are based on the unique experiences of the participants, and we cannot guarantee like or similar outcomes. While you may be inspired by these accounts, please note that any stories of success have not been verified and your individual path to optimal health will vary. As always, it is our recommendation that you consult with a healthcare provider before starting a weight loss program. Yours in health, the OPTAVIA team.
All right, over the next 30 minutes, we're going to get a chance to hear stories of transformation. We're going to get a chance to talk about the full trilogy of what OPTAVIA offers. We're also going to get a chance to talk to the co-founder and the real leader, the visionary, the one that saw OPTAVIA way before it ever got started. And it was actually a passion of his to actually help individuals to create more optimal well-being in their life. And tonight we get a chance to hear from him. In just a moment, you're going to get a chance to hear from the visionary, Dr. Wayne Scott Andersen, about why he chose to create OPTAVIA and why he believes that becoming an OPTAVIA coach is an opportunity for everyone who wants to create more health and well-being. It's not just for health professionals or people that have lost a lot of weight. My story is that I started this program almost 10 years ago now, and it was actually in December 28, 2008. And I never had any idea that I would actually be an inspiration to other people. I never had any idea that I would be able to coach other people to better health and better well-being, and that it would actually be something I would really love to do. But I decided to do it. Even before I ended up losing all of my 100 pounds, I decided to start helping people. And so far, it's not only transformed my life, but it's transformed thousands and thousands of others. And it was because of Dr. Wayne Scott Andersen's vision to actually create a new model of care, a new model of health care. He created this model out of this vision that he had, that he thought that people could actually help themselves to get healthy. They didn't have to have medications or surgeries to basically create health in their life. They just needed to learn the habits of health. And Dr. Wayne Scott Andersen, many of you have read his book. You've maybe read the New York Times bestseller, Discover Your Optimal Health. He's a 10th physician board certified in critical care. He graduated the valedictorian of his medical class. He actually had 2 decades of medical history and being one of the top leaders and physicians in the country. And then he decided to leave it all and chance it all for this idea that he could create a better system. And he was able to do that almost 18 years ago. And now it's become one of the most dominant forces around because it's actually helping people to transform their lives. And we can't wait to hear from you, Dr. A, and have you share a little bit more about why you chose to create OPTAVIA and why you believe it is a great solution for those who apply it. Welcome to the webinar.
Well, thanks, David. And it's really great to be here with you guys tonight. And hopefully those of you that are listening will get something out of what we're going to talk about over the next half an hour. You know, I was listening to you guys talk about basically need and eat. And it's really interesting because I remember just like it was yesterday when I sat down and looked at what small acronym can I use that people start to understand. And when we started really created need in the beginning, people thought I was crazy. I remember I was with Larry Cheskin. He said, wow, what a novel idea. But at the time at Hopkins, you know, the convention was you exercise 3 days a week and that took care of everything for you. And now we know the sitting disease has become a global phenomena. And to offset from sitting all day because of our sedentary lifestyles, because of computers and the type of occupations and careers we have, are creating incredible dysfunction, not only from the standpoint of our physical health, but also our brain health. You know, I heard Carrie say earlier, but basically exercise, if we could put it in a pill, it'd be the most prescribed medication possible. So I love to hear it. And what's really cool is as I'm finishing up and sometime at the beginning of the new year, we'll be launching the 2.0 system, the Habits of Health Transformational System. And as I'm finishing up and writing the final edits and stuff, it's really cool because that book lasted 10 years. And the things we talked about in there are just as important and now main stage. And when I wrote them, they were pretty much not thought of by anybody. So I'm excited about all the new developments and how we can help people. And one of those is emotional management. We're going to talk tonight about health coaching and how important it is for you as a client and potentially thinking of it as an occupation because people need help. The world is changing so rapidly today that most people are not adapting at the level necessary in order to stay ahead of technology. And so excited about being on tonight, excited about talking about what we can do to help all our listeners and viewers tonight. So lifelong transformation, David. Yeah, OPTAVIA is evolved from this idea I had almost 2 decades ago. And the idea is optimum way. That's what OPTAVIA means. And to know that no matter where you are, what your genetics are, how you were brought up, you can change your story. I mean, our genetics are only at 30%. They're kind of like an off-on switch that we create by how we act, the choices we make. And epigenetics is now coming into the forefront. The interesting thing about epigenetics, people say, oh, our genes are not absolutely important. Well, no, they're not, but the things you need to do to make them better actually are by living the habits of health. And so this epidemic is out of control. As you can see, 70% of U.S. And the world, it's a world problem now, and it's accelerating in countries around the world. But basically, sedentary lifestyle, energy-dense fast food, ultra-processed food, stress, it's not boding well for us. And even though our technology advances and we have these amazing things that we can look at in the world, the reality is we're not as healthy as we were previously. So excited about talking about this tonight and how we can change it.
Well, thanks, Dr. A. And, you've got this, amazing background and history in the medical community. I mean, why did you decide to leave all that to create this system? I mean, obviously you must have seen something from a medical perspective that you actually felt like you could actually reverse the trends, and you actually did, and you've helped over 1 million people now. Talk a little bit more about the vision.
And that's a great point, David. That it's getting a little old now, but the movie Groundhog's Day, getting up every day and doing the same thing, expecting something different to happen. When it didn't happen, that was what was going on with me. I mean, when I started out, I was just enamored by the way I could use technology to keep people from dying. But as I did it more and more, I realized I wasn't helping anybody get healthy. And that same problem goes all over the world. We're really good at problem solving in the United States, and I was great at it as a physician, reacting to disease. But I never created health for one person. And so decided to leave it, as you said, back in the early 2000s, and started looking for what really could help people change their life. First thing I found out, diets don't work by themselves. 85% of people that go on a diet gain their weight back. And yet, even today in January, you'll see next month, 2 months and a half from now, you'll see basically all the commercials come on where they'll try to get somebody on another diet. And that, to me, is just absolutely crazy. As I say to my daughter, that's cray-cray. And what we've done is look at what actually works. And what works is, first of all, to raise your hand and make a decision, I want to get healthy. And then the second part is not going it alone, having someone to guide you. Second, having a system, which is the Habits Health system, which, I spent almost 2 decades working with thousands and thousands of patients, clients, coaches, business leaders to look at how can we truly make changes? How can we create an environment which has led to where we are now in terms of the evolution of our Habits Health transformational system? The community is a critical part. The underlying structure, Bandura's work in Stanford back in the 60s and stuff showed that when you put someone in an underlying environment, they're going to become that environment. And it's a very powerful piece. And so the OPTAVIA community is, we said, okay, let's heal ourselves from the inside and then reach out and help others. And by coming together, we've created a very powerful community of like-minded people that through their modeling, through their helping each other, through the empathy, they're there for people. And then the feelings that started way back, how I developed a relationship with the parent company was I was looking for a catalyst, something to get people started, to jumpstart them. Because people know they need to eat better, they know they need to exercise, but unless they get into momentum and build self-efficacy, they're not going to be successful. So the magic is the combination of these 4 central components together, which allows people to go on and become successful. So I know we're going to talk about each one. We're going to start with the OPTAVIA coach, I believe. Yeah, basically, this is someone usually that's actually gotten healthy using the OPTAVIA system, but doesn't have to be. Many of you out there may be thinking that, wow, I'm looking for something that can bring meaning and purpose in my life. Well, this is the thing that can do it, because it's really about reaching out and helping other people. We're not selling and telling, we're caring and sharing. Basically, our coaches don't need to be masters in nutrition like some of the people are on the line. today, but basically just someone that cares and is going to guide them to the Habits Health system, guide them to the community, guide them to the support pieces that we have to help them be successful. And then moving forward, move them on to great health. And Mike and Karyn are great examples of that. You know, you can see their pictures, their before pictures, and then how they look now. And what's really great about it, yeah, physically you see a transformation, but I've watched these two amazing business coaches and business leaders develop so much in their personal development from when I first met them, and now they're basically helping us move this mission forward to change the world. So Mike and Karyn?
It's great to be with you. And yeah, absolutely. Being a coach is an amazing gift to us for our own personal health, and then helping other people as well. It's pretty key. And, you know, when we started, we really didn't know what to do, how to do it. And so a caring, knowledgeable coach who served as our guide, David was our coach, and he kind of became the wingman for me, taught me to fly this plane of health, and it's just been a joy all along the way. And I'm eternal grateful that we have the life that we have now because of coaching. It's not just what we were eating, but it was what was eating us. And that was keeping us from living the life of fullness that we really wanted. And our coach was so instrumental in helping us with that.
Yeah, you know, Mike and I were those classical yo-yo dieters. You know, we had tried every commercial, we had tried every product, and quite frankly, we were about ready to give up. And then our friend David had started getting healthy, and, you know, healthy people catches your attention. When you're unhealthy for so long, you're looking for something. And so David just kind of said, well, yeah, I'm doing this amazing program. A friend helped me. And then this was what he said, you guys, and if you want to get healthy, I'll help you. No one had ever said that to us before. Mm-hmm. It was just we didn't believe him. We're like, really? Why would you do that? Right? Because we didn't pay our health coach. And so why would David reach into our lives, lock arms with us, and help us get healthy? Well, David saw that this was the real deal, you know, and so he helped us to get healthy physically, which of course led to us getting healthy mentally. I was 280 pounds cleaning houses. You know, I was literally looked down on all day long. I was on the floor scrubbing people's toilets. And I started to get healthy physically. I lost 115 pounds on the program. And it was pretty predictable. I mean, just like he said it would happen. And there was a point where David said, you know what, Karyn, it's time for you to pay it forward. It's time for you to reach out to your friends and family. They need you. And I didn't believe I could be a health coach. I really didn't, you know. What do I know about health? Right? I'm on a panel tonight with doctors and fitness experts and pro football players. You know, who am I to talk to someone else about health? But you know what? If David would not have reached out to us, I don't know where we'd be.
For sure.
Probably not here. So one of the joys that I get is that David coaches with me. He helps me coach our clients. And we've been able to coach a lot of people together. And in the meantime, you know, a lot of other people have joined our mission to help get people healthy. And I'll tell you what, it was really cool. You know, when I was cleaning houses, I was making a difference for about 10 minutes until the kids came home from school. But as a health coach, I make an impact. Mm-hmm. I'm making a huge impact on the world. And I believe that's what I was put here to do. And any one of us can do this. I mean, I'm not anything special, you guys. I don't have a medical background. I do have a heart for people. And David was right. That's the number one criteria that you need, is a compassionate heart towards people. He reached out to us, and now we get to reach out to other people. And it's just been a blessing. So I don't know what we do without our health coach. So,
well, that's great, Karyn. And by the way, you're, you know, to even hear you say you're not anything or nothing. First of all, number one, everybody, the world, the universe plays no favorites. Everyone has the same potential inside of them. What's great about OPTAVIA, it allows that to come out. And, you know, I've watched you guys have become amazing leaders. That happened because you were in an environment that was conducive for you to be able to work on that. And so that's what's great about what we do. You know, as you said, you make a decision, you come with us, and you've got your coach right there every step of the way to help you first start bringing on clients, and then basically becoming a coach yourself and helping bring on coaches. So it's a pretty cool system, and you guys have done a great job. And I'm really excited about spending more time and watching the next era in your development as you guys become amazing leaders, not just in the United States, but around the world. Because next year we're going to start going international, which is going to be fun. So congratulations. Awesome. Well, listen, the second part is the Habits Health System. I know a little bit about that. Been studying it for a long time now, and I have to tell you that it keeps getting easier and easier. And I just wrote the new book, the new life book, which is the next year of your new life, the app, put all those things together and spent the last probably 4 years working on it. And just reading through the edits, it's teaching me now. That's how cool it is. It's really teaching me, because some of the stuff I don't remember that I wrote, and I wrote every word of it was written by me. And what it's doing is putting us in position to be basically based in science, but not voiced in science. We want to make everything, so everybody on the line tonight, just like Karyn was saying, it's easy to do. Now, her husband Mike's a professor at college, but the bottom line is, I got to tell you, she coaches just as well as he does, if not better. It's because it's a matter of making the decision that I want to do this. I want to become a higher version of yourself. So tonight we have Karyn Jall, and she's going to talk a little bit about the Habits of Health system and how it's helped her as a coach and as a client improve her health and the health of her clients.
Thank you, Dr. A. Yes, I have spent my entire career, nearly 30 years, in wellness and health promotion and corporate wellness, and did a lot of consulting for corporations. When I was introduced to OPTAVIA and I started reading the Habits of Health book, I went, where has this man been all my life? I used to bring in speakers, and we had education and provide that to employers, and I needed Dr. A to be one of those speakers years ago before I knew him. And so that Habits of Health system, and I said it then as well, that was like my entire college degree condensed into a textbook. Which is awesome because it's an easy to read textbook too, and can go with you. So that's something that's been so beneficial in helping clients as they've moved through this process or transformation of getting healthier. In worksite wellness, we spend a lot of time talking about environment and talking about the culture, and sort of, we talk a lot in OPTAVIA about creating that microenvironment of health. Well, when we're spending the majority of our time at work, we need that environment to be healthy, and it isn't always. So we spend a lot of time educating employers and helping them build programs, and maybe they would be recognized for, doing great things, but were we really changing lives? Were we really reaching the employees that needed it the most? We have people that they're going to change anyway, so of course they're participating. Or we have people that they want the $100 that they're going to get if they participate, so they change. But when I started coaching with OPTAVIA and working more with individuals rather than big corporate entities, probably 2 weeks in, I said to my husband, I feel like I have changed the world more in the 3 clients I've helped than I have in all the companies that we've helped over all these years, because we know that they're in this lifelong transformation process now. They have the tools and resources to get them where they want to go, and they're sharing them with their family, with their coworkers, with their neighbors, and creating that environment around them. So the Habits of Health system, that's the key. That's behavior change. And one of the pieces that a lot of programs, canned programs that we have utilized with people in the past, it was missing. So instead, they were just going on diets. They were not learning that behavior change method that they had to have to continue on this journey.
Well, that's great. And what's important about it is we do it, as David said earlier in the other conversation, in micro habits. It's basically making sure we go down to the ability for someone to do it every day. Habits require continuous repetition in order for the part in our brain to now chunk it together and make it happen automatically. And for that to happen, it has to happen every day. And for that to happen, it has to be easy enough. And so that's the role, basically, we talked about the coach, basically being there to guide, the system, making it easy enough, and then the community being there to facilitate it, to change the surroundings so the surroundings are conducive, as well as making the habit small enough so that the client can learn and get all that. And part of that is also having the tools, and the fuelings are one of those tools. They're literally portion controlled, prepackaged food that's designed specifically when used together, eating it every 3 hours and eating one lean and green meal, which you see to the right there, is the ability to start losing weight, going into a mild fat burning state, and losing weight day in and day out, and doing it in an efficacious way that's safe and allows you to have all the micronutrients you need and keep you so you're basically not hungry. You lose your craving for sweets and different sugary substances and flour substances, And at the same time, while you're losing weight, we basically create what we call the teachable moment. Now you're losing weight, you feel better, you have more energy, and now someone that's, I heard Karyn say she doubted very much, whether she could do it or believed it. That's because of all the failures. But if we start building successes, and it really starts with as easy as for a client is, can you eat every 3 hours? If you want to change your world, change your stars, can you eat every 3 hours? So we start there. And tonight we have Janelle Kellum who's going to talk a little bit about using the feelings in the community and how powerful it was both in her journey. If you look at the picture on the left versus how she looks now, talk about a transformation.
Thanks, Dr. A. Well, OPTAVIA has been a huge game changer in my life in so many ways. And when I came to the community, I had over 50 pounds to lose. I had my son, who was, I believe, 3 years old at the time, and I had tried all kinds of very healthy but very, challenging things to get that weight off, and it would not budge. And something that was already a value of mine was eating often, eating every 2 to 3 hours and eating higher protein. And I was doing that with all healthy natural foods. And I'll tell you what, my kitchen was a disaster all day long. I was stressed out. I couldn't leave the house for more than 2 or 3 hours because I had to always have all my foods with me. And it was not sustainable. And I would do well for about 2 weeks. Then I'd run out of groceries and we'd eat whatever we wanted on the weekends. And I'd gain back those 2 pounds that I tried so hard to lose. And I really, I found OPTAVIA and found this program, and the fuelings were a lifeline for me, because what it did was it offered this structure for me that was so accessible. It was simple. It removed the stress that I had felt with eating so often during the day. And I saw this increased energy in my life, and I saw this consistent weight loss where I actually was able to lose those 50 pounds. And it was in a short amount of time for me that I had ever experienced. And so it was easy, it was helpful, I felt so good. And I'll tell you, when I was still at that, still had 50 pounds to lose, Dave Bush, who's my health coach, he said to me, Janelle, as I've gotten to know you, I can tell that you love people and you love to serve them. I would really encourage you to consider being a health coach. And you don't have to have all the answers, because I'm sitting there 50 pounds overweight and I'm like, Dave, what are you talking about? Like, who's going to listen to me? What do I know? And he said, you don't have to know all the answers. You just have to invite people along to walk alongside you, and you plug them into the resources and the community that we have. And you know what, you guys, that honestly was what changed my health in my own personal life. I needed that to make those changes for me. And, leading people in that and inviting people alongside, it was so motivating, because I knew I'd be calling them every week. So I knew I better be on my game if I was going to be encouraging them in their health. And it's been such a great blessing the last 5 years. And I'm able to work from home. I get to be with my son at home. And it's changed my life. And it's been such a sweet and special way to get to serve others and serve not only them, but their families. Because their families get their mom back. Their families get their dad, their grandparents in this place where they get to be even more engaged in their lives. So yeah, I've loved health coaching, and I'm so thankful for our OPTAVIA community.
Awesome, Janelle, and you look great, and congratulations on, and by the way, being there with your son, being able to be home to be with him is you're basically setting him up to help us lead the world to a better way. And that's what this is all about. So congratulations. So this slide I created because I think it really kind of puts it all in a nutshell. You may be on tonight because you're a client or thinking about becoming a client. And you might have heard and maybe thought, well, coaching sounds great, but I'm not sure if I could do it. Well, let's talk a little bit about that. If you look at this slide, and you can see on the vertical axis, optimal health and well-being in the path. Most people are on the red path. They're born optimally healthy, and then over time, they go through a stage I like to call non-sick. And that's where, well, you're not at the doctor getting on basically real pharmaceutical medicines, and you haven't been diagnosed by an ICD code. But the reality is you're going to the CVS store to get medicines to take care of your symptoms, whether it's getting on one of the acetaminophen, one of the Motrins, getting on an antacid pill for indigestion. All those things are signs that your body's saying is that basically it's not functioning at the highest level. And so what we know is this: as a client, as you join, you'll see a change in the trajectory. We're now putting you wherever you are, and the further you're down and the less healthy you are, or if you're sick, you're going to have a very dramatic change. But the reality is, when you become a coach and you start helping others and you start really learning at that level, that's when the real magic starts. And you can see the trajectory of your life changes pretty radically, because not only are you learning the habits of health, learning how to teach it, but it becomes part of you. And then beyond that, as you start coaching and helping others, you're going to start having more meaning and purpose in your life. And we know on the axis of well-being that fulfillment is key. Success is one thing, and it's nice to be successful and not have the worries of not having enough resources. But the other part of that is basically, if you're not doing something that really brings joy and gets you out of bed in the morning, you're more likely to be not physically and mentally unhealthy. So the combination of those together makes all the difference.
Well, Dr. A, we've got Mike Harrison, and I just thought that he might be a good person because he actually was a life and business and leadership coach, and he had some background in coaching, and he knows a little bit about what the marketplace was for coaching, but he knew nothing about the opportunities with health coaching. And so, Mike, I thought maybe you could share with everybody of what you saw once you saw your wife getting healthy and yourself getting healthy, and the opportunity of actually going out there and helping a whole bunch of people to get healthy, and how well that could end up serving you and your needs.
Yeah, so Andy Stanley says in his book, Next Generational Leader, that you need a coach. You can be really good, you can be really great, but you won't be as good as you can be without a coach. Even Lone Ranger had Tonto. So we all need coaches. But as a life and business coach, it was trying to find those people that I could help. And I spend thousands of dollars trying to reach out to those people. As a health coach, 7 out of 10 people, maybe even more, the other 3 are in denial, need me. And what was powerful was the referability of this, is that when my clients are changing, everybody knows it. Their parents know it, their kids know it, their coworkers know it. And so that creates demand as well. More and more people want to find out what they're doing to get healthy, because people really want to have that. And so this is an opportunity to reach out to them and to care for them. Has been what's already been shared on the call tonight, is that to care with a heart to them, because the opportunity is absolutely huge.
Yeah, well, in terms of the opportunity and growth and how the progressive growth model, I mean, you've had a chance to go from being an OPTAVIA coach to the business coach, and then now to one of our global executive business leaders. Talk a little bit more about how that progression took place for you, Mike.
Yeah, so, we got in and started helping people because that's what we wanted to do. And they were losing weight and they were feeling great, and they were beginning to live their dreams. And it was client number 16 who said, as she lost 108 pounds, she said, I want to do what you do. And that's when I started learning, okay, how do I help her? And she's helped, 15 to 20 people get healthy as well. So it was really exciting when Nancy lost over 100 pounds. And not everybody loses that, but that's what she wanted to lose. And she lost over 100 pounds. But also what was really exciting is when she had freedom, that she was now making her house payment, that she was able to care for these people and to make a difference in their lives. I saw her ramp up. And as she ramped up, she pulled me up, because I got to be a business coach and a business leader. And she's brought other coaches on and other clients on that now have become part of my community, part of my family, part of our family and community. And that's a real joy as well.
That's so great, Mike. So great to hear your story again. Well, Dr. A, as we wrap up here tonight, let's talk a little bit more about how the opportunity of OPTAVIA coaching works for somebody who wants to get started, and how that looks in terms of a day-to-day operation.
Well, again, it's as easy as reaching out and caring for people. And then what happens is you bring on clients. To Mike's point, some of those clients will be attracted to other people that are learning what they're doing. And so that allows you to move through the progression. What's nice about it, it's all about relationships. And it's also about your own personal growth. And when I was talking about moving from client to coach, one of the great things is, most people, by the time they're 14, they have enough bandwidth that they can function for the rest of their life. But they don't really grow beyond there. What's neat about what we do is you will grow, because you'll be around other people and you'll be infusing all these great ideas from an open, curious, and a desire to become better. A growth mindset. And so what's neat about that, you're independent and you get to do this around your time, whether it's part or full time, but you have people around you, like we've been talking all night, that they're there to help you. It costs very little to get started. When I designed it right from the beginning, there really is no financial excuse, because what it costs to become a client, basically you can make up by helping other clients be successful. So what's neat about that, we make it so easy, and everybody knows 400 people by first name. And I guarantee with 70%, as we showed earlier in the statistics, that are overweight, with 400 people, that means that 280 are ready to go right now or need what we've got. The neat thing about the support is basically we'll train you right from the beginning. We have virtual training, certifications online. Basically, we have calls like this that are supportive. We have Monday night calls that are for our whole team to come together, where we bring on people that are successful and new ideas. You'll have a business coach with you right from the beginning who will be there to help you get your business started, open up shop, so to speak, and helping people get healthy. And then when your first client decides to become a coach, or somebody you know wants to join you, your business coach will step right up and actually do the work for you in the beginning to make sure you're modeled right, so you do the work the right way. And so it's on-the-job training. It's really a lot of fun. You go at the pace. You're never told. We're what we call autonomy supportive. We basically talk about finding out what you want and then help you get what you want. We don't tell you what to do. And basically, what's really neat about it is by helping others, you can become very successful. This statement is just a statistical statement that shows, but our coaches do very well. They're some of the top in the industry, and they do it in a fashion where if you do the work, you'll be successful. If you don't do any work, you don't talk to anybody, you will not make any money and you will not be successful. This is not a lottery system. This is a true business, and it's a model where 90+% of our clients are actually consumers. They're people that have joined us as clients because they want to get healthy, and that's what we provide to the whole community. And as you join the community, what's really great about it, it's an opportunity to be part of a bunch of other people and then work together. And what's neat about that, you put yourself in a place where you can become the dominant force in your life and actually organize your life around what matters. And I can tell you that the tens and thousands of people, every day I get amazing letters and cards and stuff from people just saying, oh my God, where I was and where I am now. I had one lady, I'll just end with this. Basically, she's now a leader. She was at our Sundance Leadership Retreat. So she's a global director above. It was a very successful business. She said 2 years ago, I was morbidly obese. I was isolated from everybody. I didn't even know what I was going to do. And now I feel this connection of this powerful community that I'm part of. I'm changing not just my life and being better for my family, being better for my community. I'm now helping be part of your mission to change the world. And I want to thank you so much. So, I mean, that pretty much says it all. We've got an amazing offering, whether it's to help you start getting healthier, or whether it's a place maybe you can come to find a place to be with us and help us change the world. We're looking for people that really care about people and want to make a difference.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. A. And thank you so much for your vision and for your passion. And we all felt it tonight. And I just wanted to say thanks on behalf of all the panelists, Janelle and Karyn and Mike Harrison and Carrie Jewell, for sharing their evening with us tonight and sharing their inspirational stories. So if you're interested in taking the next step to explore what OPTAVIA coaching could look like, you don't have to make any hard decisions, but what we would ask is that you would get all the facts before you make a decision whether to do it or not to do it. And what those facts may look like for you may be different for another person. So if you're interested in more information on what the income opportunity is, or how the compensation plans, or how to acquire clients and how to support clients, all those details can be provided to you by the person that invited you to watch this video. And so reach back out to them. Let them know what resonated with you and what questions that you have, and let them know if you're ready to explore it further. So thanks, everybody. We wish you all a very, very happy and healthy night, and thanks for joining us tonight.
Good night. God bless.
This audio may have contained the personal testimonials of some OPTAVIA coaches or clients of OPTAVIA. The results relayed in these messages are based on the unique experiences of the participants, and we cannot guarantee like or similar outcomes. While you may be inspired by these accounts, please note that any stories of success have not been verified, and your individual path to optimal health will vary. As always, it is our recommendation that you consult with a healthcare provider before starting a weight loss program. Yours in health, the OPTAVIA team.